Okay, so this is USA Mission 1. A lot of you wanted me to do something with the campaign, so this is what I've come up with. Right now we're just moving the vehicles into the corner. One of the rules is we cannot use these vehicles. So they'll go in the corner, never to be used. Gonna get the upgrades for the infantry. So these 10 guys, we're only gonna be using these 10 guys to get us from the main base to the train station. So with the train station, once we unlock it, we can put 16 of our units inside the train, and then the train is going to transport us to the GLA base. So we got to hope that the infantry that we put in the train will be enough to take out the GLA base. Now with the infantry, we are going to be getting some reinforcements later, so we will be allowed to use the reinforcements. Since we only got 10 guys here, the reinforcements are necessary in order for us to actually get the train moving. You actually have to fill the train up completely to get the train to move. Now with our infantry, taking out the Stinger site, and with the Stinger sites in this mission, because it's sort of like a tutorial based mission, the Stinger site will not turn into a GLA hull, it'll just be destroyed just like that. Now with our wounded rangers and rocket troops, we're putting those guys inside the barracks so then they can get healed up, because we don't want to lose these guys. We want to make sure that we can keep as many as possible for when we actually move in on the GLA vehicles and the GLA structures. Now GLA structures, it is like a palace and a black market, but we still need to get those out of the way to trigger the reinforcements and get access to the train. But we got 3 rocket troops, sending them out front. The Terrys have occupied a couple of vehicles, so we're just taking those out first. Then we'll move them away so then they don't get shot down by the GLA infantry there. And we've got flashbangs. Now I chose the 2 rangers that don't have veterancy, so then they can get veterancy. So there's one. And I was like, okay, let's put that guy away, let's get the other unranked guy, and just like that you got 2 guys that have vet 2. So the wounded ranger's almost there, and the rocket troop is catching up with the rest.
I'll fire at anything. It'll be a
And next thing, we're just going to put our guys inside the building. Basically, we're just trying to reveal what we're up against here. So we've got a quad, we've got a tunnel, and in that tunnel there is a quad and a toxin tractor. So I've got to be careful here. Now with our guys, we're going to take out the building next to the one we've garrisoned, and that's just so we can move around a little bit easier.
Yeah, we can fire through the window.
Scorpions at 9 o'clock.
Yep, so I'm just trying to clear the way so then we can get some fire on the enemy tanks. So the Scud launcher and the rocket buggies, we don't have to worry about the ones on the left. We don't have to worry about them, but what you see near the black market and the palace, you do have to worry about that. Now the toxin tractor was getting very close to where we're at, but thankfully for me the toxin tractor didn't actually fire on me, so I'll take what I can get here. So with our 1 rocket troop inside the other building, we're just going to use him to take out the tunnel, and then we can inch our way closer to the train station.
I'll fire at anything. Here comes trouble. On the trail. Let's go in that building.
Special forces here.
Yeah, we can fire through the window. Let's pop.
So right now I got 4 rocket troops that evac the building. So we're just trying to figure out what's the best way to go about destroying the enemy vehicles. So I figured I'll go for the Scud launcher and the rocket buggies, and I kept pressing the laser lock on the wrong vehicles, so that's what's going on there.
Here comes trouble. Laser guidance ready. Personal shooting range. Enabling laser sights.
And thankfully these guys are not attacking us back, except for that palace, but it's only like one rocket troop inside the palace, so I don't have to worry too much. Now this was kind of good, kind of bad. The paradrop came into play, but the technicals and the rocket buggies were also still in play, so we did lose some units out of that exchange.
Always prepared.
So it did kind of force us into making moves on those enemy vehicles, but we are able to get through the palace, and I was getting a ranger to do some alt pathing as well, but didn't need to be done. We've still got plenty to work with, and we can go and move in on the black market. Now the black market, you can capture it if you want to, you don't have to though. Either way, you'll still trigger the train to arrive.
Good work, General. The depot is secured. Now we need to build an attack force large enough to destroy the GLA base.
Let's pop some tanks.
Load your best units onto the train.
And just like that, we're going to get our best men inside the train. Just trying to pick whichever one's got the highest veterancy, and seems like I'll have to get some unranked guys inside the train too. But we did lose a few, and it turned out that we had one unit to spare. So if we if we lost more guys, I would have had to have redone the mission from scratch.
Need a point man? Army's elite. Ready for action.
Good work, General. The train is full.
Okay, so the train's arrived, and as you can see, we got 2 Stinger sides, some rebels, and some rocket troops. So we got to act fast here. So really trying to just pick off everything one by one. Those rangers that popped out as well on the left side, since they're the best rangers, they're able to deal with the Stinger side pretty well. Now, this section of the game is kind of the easier section, because if you run low on units, you will get a paradrop of reinforcements. So it's a situation where it's like you can't exactly lose from this point.
Ready for action.
So now it's just a matter of trying to beat this mission quickly, so then we can move on to the next mission. And surprise, surprise, the next mission that we're going to be doing is GLA 1. So in this video we got USA 1, GLA 1, and China 1. And I figured these are all pretty short missions, so I thought, you know what, let's just put them all together, because that way it'll be just as long as what I normally bust out with the General's Challenge series that I got going. So with our Ranger, we're trying to cap the barracks there. That will trigger the tunnel network, and we're also going to get our rocket troops to try and take out these technicals. They're going to be a real problem here, so we're really trying to just get the laser lock on them, and now we can focus on capturing the command center and capturing the radio station too.
Our base is being attacked.
Lock and load.
And yeah, it's just happened again because we're running kind of low on units. The paradrop has come into play here, and we're able to finish off the rest of the GLA.
That Delta 2. Your orders are to fall back. Over.
Raid in progress.
Echo Company, bomber inbound. You're too close. Pull back.
The building is captured, sir.
The Moabs will be here
Ready
any
for
minute.
action. Our base is under attack. Army's elite. Don't want any trouble here.
Yep, so GLA didn't like me capturing the command center,
Point man.
which means that the technicals and the tunnels are going to come after my command center and the barracks too. But that's actually a good thing. So we've got to take out the base defenses so then we can trigger a Moab, and the Moab's going to be able to finish the job and get us the win.
Alpha
Done.
Wing, area is clear. You
So
may
that is
proceed.
USA Mission 1. We didn't build any units, we didn't use the vehicles, we didn't get any unmanned vehicles, and we didn't destroy our own buildings to get more rangers.
You are victorious.
Okay, next mission. This is GLA mission 1. So objective here, we got to get our limo to the airport. And rules I've set for this is we can only control the limo, which means that any other unit that is available to me, I cannot use them. So I can't use them to move, I can't use them to attack. So I've got our limo, move them towards the Rangers. Now, the quad cannon and the technical that you see attacking, I'm not making them attack the Rangers. They're choosing on their own to attack. So that's what I mean. I can't control the other vehicles. So since I know the quad cannon and the technicals will decide on their own to attack, I'm luring the enemy vehicles towards that pile and then trying to use them as a distraction for the limo to get away. So right now the bikes do not fight back. The quad cannons and the technicals do. So just waiting on the right moment, and here we go with our limo. Now one Humvee is taking shots on me, but that's kind of a good thing because it means that my quad cannon was able to destroy one of the enemy Humvees. See, it is a little bit of RNG there. If the Humvees do win that exchange, it means that I'm less likely to get the limo to the GLA base. So there we go, Humvee and a Crusader this time. Again, same thing, we're just using the bikes to distract. But we're not we're not moving them, we're not using to attack or anything like that. And here we go, limo's doing a runner. So this is sort of like force damage. You have no choice but to just drive through all of this. Yeah, this time we got away pretty cleanly, and the limo didn't go into the red, so the limo is still moving pretty quickly. And with our buildings, we do have an arms dealer. So the arms dealer, we use that to repair the limo back to full health, and then we're just going to move the limo and try and get us to the airport now. Yep, so there's going to be a few sentry drones, and normally the USA would do a paradrop. They haven't done that yet, but there's a couple of fire bases. They're going to get a few shots, but it doesn't matter. We drove through the fencing and we're at the airport, and that is how I did GLA Mission 1 only using the limo.
We are victorious.
And lastly, we got China Mission 1, so getting the Gatling cannon with the Overlord. I can't build any units, I can't build any buildings, I can't lose any units, I can't use any general powers, and these 7 vehicles are the only ones that I'll be using to take out the GLA base. So with our dozers, we're just going to get them to retreat into the corner. I did speed up this section just because nothing really happens here. So just taking out a demo trap and just casually rolling through the whole map until we reach the GLA base. So yeah, there's a couple of listening outposts that do arrive, but again, we never got those at the beginning of the mission, so we're not going to use them. Now with the Overlord, he's going to be front and center. He's going to take out the demo traps for me, and there's going to be a few rocket troops that are going to be nearby. So that's why we got an Inferno Cannon right behind the Overlord, so then we can use the Inferno Cannon to do some damage on those rocket troops. So we want to try and minimize the damage we take from our Overlord.
Everything will go up in smoke. Agreed.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to be very careful because there's an artillery platform nearby. Now, we just revealed a Stinger site, so we're going to do some shots with our Inferno Cannon. I'd like to use both of them, but it's too risky because there's some Scorpion tanks that patrol the area, and I found that they're more likely to take aim at the Inferno Cannons if I use them both, so I'm only using the one. Now with the Inferno Cannons, they can take out the infantry inside the Stinger site, and that means I can get my Overlord to move in on the artillery platform and take less damage as a result. Now the Scorpion tanks that I mentioned earlier, one of them came out to try and attack me, but easy work for the Overlord. So now the Overlord is going to have free reign over the artillery platform. He will take a few shots from that Stinger sight, but the Overlord is pretty tanky in terms of HP. If we can get the Overlord to Vet 2 or Vet 3, that's when we've really won the game here, because a Vet 3 Overlord is very hard to destroy. If you're smart enough with the unit, like if you get your Overlord to, you know, stay in one spot, get healed up, and then start attacking later on, then you're pretty much set. Now, with our Dragon tank, I decided to move him in on the next Stinger side, and then that way we'll whittle down those defenses. And we'll take out that other Scorpion too. So I did get a little bit too close to the Stinger sight, and there was also a quad cannon, so I did take quite a beating from that one. So now we're in a bit of a situation where the Overlord isn't Vet 2 yet, and we're in the red on HP. So I gotta pick my battles now.
Gatling tank, ready for action.
So I'm just moving my Gatling cannons to join the Inferno cannons. See, the Inferno cannons can't really take much abuse here, so I've got to be able to get the Gatling cannons or the Dragon tanks to help and defend.
Let's rain some fire. Let's light him up. Fire from sky. I am big.
So I was really getting closer, so I did take some shots there. Thankfully, the Inferno cannon survived. And see, that's the thing. Remember, I can't lose any units in this challenge. So if I was allowed to lose units, this would be a much faster battle. Like the fastest that I've been able to do it, this way was like 12 minutes. So we did shave off quite a bit of time in those attempts, but I was like, nah, it's not hard enough. We gotta add something to make it harder. And that's when I was like, okay, no general powers and no losing units either. That should make it hard. With our Overlord, we finally got that Vet 2. See, because we got the Overlord to destroy other things like the demo traps, we just helped it along getting that rank 2.
Inferno cannons loaded. Everything will go up in smoke.
So now we're just going to chill out. We're going to wait on the Overlord to get a bit of healing done. And we're going to use the Inferno cannon that's weaker to try and take out the barracks. I did also get the fully healed one to do some damage too. I figure we might get a vet out of the damaged one though. If we can get the damaged one to Vet 2, then that can also do self-healing.
I will crush. They are nothing.
My Overlord isn't fully healed, but I felt confident that I could take out the arms dealer and the nearby units too.
When do I get started?
I am big. I will finish this.
Let's rain some
Extra
fire.
large.
Everything will go up in smoke.
Congratulations, General. You have been promoted.
When do I get started?
I got a little bit concerned about that rocket troop there. That's why I retreated with the Inferno cannon.
Everything will go up.
So now we're just trying to figure out what to do next. And then I saw a quad cannon on the map. I was like, okay, well, let's get the Inferno cannon, see if we can reach the quad cannon, and maybe get the Vet 2, so we can do some self-healing. If we can get self-healing on the Inferno cannon, I'd feel a lot more confident about picking my targets. But because we're not, I've really slowed I've slowed the game down for myself, because I'm not, I'm not confident in my attacks, and I don't want to lose any of the units too. Now with this battle, you've got access to a few general powers. So you got access to Carpet Bomb, a level 1 artillery, and Mine Drop, and the repair option too. See, repair option would be very helpful right now. As for the other general powers, the Carpet Bomb and the Mine Drop are not very helpful because we've basically skipped everything that's in the middle of the map, and in the middle of the map there is quite a bit of anti-air. Now, I tried to get the Scorpions with the Inferno Cannon, but the garrison building got in the way. So now we're just using the weaker one to take out the Scorpion. So Inferno Cannons versus Scorpions will take a little while to do, so we're just got to wait it out. Now going back to the Carpet Bomb and Cluster Mine talk. So yeah, there's a lot of anti-air in the middle of the map, and there's other like opportunities where you could like get some USA structures and units to help you fight, but we just skipped all of that and gone straight for the GLA base. And we don't have to take out any of the GLA stuff in the middle of the map. We just got to take out these GLA buildings that are located here. Yep, so there's the Vet 3, so that's really going to help with the Overlord damage-wise.
I see. This will be over soon.
I'm got a little bit concerned about that guy there. It just seems like the rocket troops are just running and not really firing. So I'm not sure if they're trying to take aim on my vehicles, or if they're maybe they're trying to get to my main base, which is like non-existent. I've just got a command center sitting there. Now that we've actually established ourselves a little bit better, we can take out some enemy vehicles. Now the two Inferno Cannons can also take aim at the supply stash off to the left. So I feel pretty confident about what we do next. So with our Overlord, we'll push to the right, and then the Inferno Cannons can catch up later. Now as for the Dragon tanks and Gatling tanks, those guys, they're not really needed anymore, so they're just going to chill out at that section, and basically the Gatling tanks and the other Dragon tank can protect the one that's weak. So since the Inferno Cannons are, like, one of them's Vet 2, so we're more likely to get those Firestorms as well. It would help if we had the Napalm upgrade, but it doesn't matter. It will get results either way. So with our Overlord, we're just doing some damage on the command center, but we're also picking off the workers, rebels, and rocket troops that come nearby. I didn't want to take any chances on the rebels or rocket troops getting in any damage on the other vehicles nearby, so that's why we're doing it that way. As for the workers, they're just going to collect cash. They're not really going to pose any threat, but I figured I'd get them out of the way anyway. Now with this GLA opponent, he doesn't rebuild. So if he rebuild his stuff, that would make things a little bit harder, but in this case, since it's a one and done deal, we can take out all of his production, and then eventually we'll be able to get the win here.
This is the Overlord tank.
Everything will go up in smoke.
I'm just picking my targets carefully with those Inferno Cannons, not straying too far, because we don't want the Inferno Cannons to take any damage.
They are nothing. I will take care of it.
Let's rain some fire.
I'm just trying to reveal where this arms dealer is, so we can now see the arms dealer, but I got to get my Overlord to move in more right, so then the Scorpions and other things can't get shots off.
Is waiting. They are nothing. What is next? They are puny.
Since the GLA aren't really sending their best, it does mean that my Overlord is getting some good heals in, and Overlord's nearly at full health again. So I got Inferno Cannons, they're going to wipe out that arms dealer. Quad Cannon did get a little bit close, but they went for Overlord, they didn't go for my cannon, so that's going to be a help there. The oil derricks as well, we don't have to destroy those. We just got to target the GLA buildings for this one.
Nothing.
When it started,
This is the Overlord tank.
infernal cannons loaded. This will do. That's a good start.
And there's the last building. So that is how I beat China 1 without building any units or buildings, without losing any units, without using any general powers, and only using the 7 attacking vehicles that we start off with. Alrighty, so I'm Crackalo. I do a lot of Command and Conquer content, so if you want to check out any of my harder challenges, I do have a playlist. I'll see you next time.